Our feature, it's been a Group 1 since 1993, the 100th edition of the Sportsbet CF4 Stakes. Weight for age over 1,400 metres, the 45th edition at Caulfield, named, of course, after Charles Orr, the former chairman and secretary of the Williamstown Racing Club, where this race was first run between 1925 and 1940. There simply isn't a Group 1 like it. It covers Black Caviar to Saintly, Rising Fast to Manicato, horses who've been guns at 1,000 metres, at 3,200 metres, and everything in between have won this race over the past century. And Mr. Brightside, who was fifth in the race last year, beaten inside a length behind Jacquinot, who, of course, won the race on protest after Mr. Brightside's stablemate Gentleman Roy was first past the post. Of course, this was the ascension from Mr. Brightside to then go on and, of course, win the All-Star Mile, defend his Doncaster title, and then, of course, come back here in the spring, win the PB Lawrence, the Memsey, and then it only took a Hong Kong star and Romantic Warrior to have the better of him in the Cox Plate. Mr. Brightside bids for his fifth Group 1, as mentioned, fifth last year. Craig Williams winning this race on a weight for age star, and Hartnell back in 2018. Lindsay Park have had success in this race on 7 occasions, most recently Jeune, the Cup winner, returning to win this fresh in 95.
Yeah, and he's a very effective fresh horse. He won his first 3 runs last preparation. 2 of those were at Caulfield, over 1,400 metres. Now, you had to you got 240 in a PB Lawrence, and this is a bit harder. He's been very well supported late, but I did love how forward he was in a recent Flemington jump out. They rode him out through the line. Craig Williams will be really looking to keep him off the fence in transit.
Very calm first up parade, but that's what we've come to expect for him. He does a wonderful job of saving his energy for the task ahead. Generally gets a little bit warm in the yard early in his preparation and improves in that respect with a little bit of racing. I do think he's forward enough fitness-wise. His coat looks good, but he will improve into a campaign.
Mark Zara's 12th ride in an oar comes aboard Pericles for James Cummings. Zara winning this race on Tofane a couple of years ago. He was on the wrong side of the protest with Gentleman Roy 12 months ago. We saw Pericles return in his late winter spring preparation salts with 1,400 metre wins in the spring preview, then the Group 2 tramway. Of course, his preparation finished with a placing in the Golden Eagle.
Yeah, he was perhaps a little lucky first up in the tramway. He had a few things go his way, but he went forward at start 2 over 1,400 metres and won quite well, or second up last preparation. First up off 14 weeks today, he won his sole 1,000-metre Warwick Farm Trial very stylishly from up near the lead. Mark Zara will be keeping an eye on Mr. Brightside, drawing one inside him, hope to cross him and push him back towards the fence.
Tall, rangy type, kicking off at a really appropriate distance range. His coat looks fantastic. In general, he's a relaxed parader, and that's what we're seeing from him today. He is getting a little bit warm, so he's going to come on with a run.
Blake Shin and Nick Ryan have had 2 rides each in the oar. Nick Ryan, of course, now a trainer. They combine here with the 3 in Moonamek, and we can go inside the Moonamek camp. Our own Clint Hutchison, part of the ownership group of the horse, who's here off, of course, winning the Damien Oliver Gold Rush in Perth. Hutch, you with Nick Ryan and Blake now?
I am with the boys. What's the game plan? Oh, look, I think we got the right man in the saddle. He's on fire, and we'll just leave it up to him. Of course, he's drawn 9 of 9. He'll blend back and hopefully be the last wave chiming in.
Yeah, but you've been on his back, you're leading in. He's going well.
He's going really well. He jumped. He worked really lovely on Tuesday. He's, he doesn't know he's up against some of the best horses in the land, but he'll be there, giving his best, and hopefully that's good enough.
Good luck, boys.
Got a great constitution. This horse does really well in between races, but I think despite having a little bit of time between runs, he looks like he's trained up really nicely for this. He was quite fresh first up last preparation. He's been really relaxed wandering around the yard today. His coat wasn't quite there at the later part of the spring, and he looks incredibly bright wandering around the yard. He's in for a good preparation.
Neville and Stephen Parnham combined for Playing God to run third in this race behind the great Black Caviar and the Caulfield Cup winner Southern Speed some 12 years ago. Here they bring the Railway Stakes winner in Bustler to town.
He was 4th in a Group 1 Northerly, and that 4th in a Gold Rush behind Moonamek had some merit to it, only beaten 2 lengths by Moonamek. Damien Oliver cut the corner, gave Moonamek a lovely steer, whereas Bustler was forced wide and ran on very strongly.
kept up to the mark with some time between runs. He's not a robust horse. He's quite lightly framed, lacks a bit of substance, but I think the team have got him pretty forward. Like his mannerisms in the yard, he's engaged.
Mike Moroney in the Rupert Lee colours, successful at even intervals with Alabama Express 2020, Tefane in 2022. Here it's Buffalo River, the 5. He's had 8 Group 1 runs, 3 of them here in Rupert Clark's.
Yeah, thought he went a little too slow up on the speed first up, and perhaps first up to 1,400 metres they wanted to save something in the tank. But from a low draw today with the run under the belt, expect they go forward and inject a lot of tempo into the race.
I think he's tightened up quite nicely with the run under his belt. I liked his first up parade. He's got himself a little bit warm today.
Jamie Carr, Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr. combined with the late I'm Thunderstruck, who was 4th in this race last year. Here they combine with a 6 Ayrton, who's got a 5 from 6 record at the Caulfield 1400. His only miss, a 6th in last year's Rupert Clark.
Yeah, Caulfield 1,400 metres is his absolute bread and butter. Now, this is a level up from last up, but he does meet Buffalo River a kilo better off after beating him with every conceivable chance. So, look, he'll run his honest race here at Caulfield over 1,400 metres, but he'd have to go to a new level to run a place in.
I think he's brightened up a bit off the back of his last run. His coat looks really good wandering around the yard today. He's quite relaxed, which is a good sign. It's getting warm, but that's very typical of his parade.
7 a Tissue is Chris Waller's 15th runner in an oar. He's had Imaging run 2nd and Kingswell Dream run 3rd previously. The dual Group 1 winner we last saw take out the Champion Stakes.
Yeah, look, she had the race shape to suit there, winning the McKinnon, got a lovely ride by James McDonald. But, geez, first up today, if they overdo it, look out for her late, because first 2 runs last preparation over 12 and 1,400 metres, she was dynamic late, and I loved how quiet a recent Sydney trial was.
Lovely and relaxed in the yard, showing no signs of freshness. Is getting a little bit warm in places, but she's not far away from a peak.
8 is Pride of Jenny, looking to emulate Typhoon Tracy, who won the Empire Rose in the spring of 09, returned to win the Orr in 2010. Kieran Murray, of course, with placings in recent years with both Nugget and Lighthouse.
Yeah, jumping out very well. The query has to be she didn't run those 2 big peak figures until she got deep into a preparation last prep, and the PB was on a 7-day backup. So can she run along at a fast tempo first up today and not knock up late?
Lovely parade from her. She's a nice big mare. She's another one that generally parades better as she gets deeper into her campaign, but she's got some really good residual fitness, and I liked her attitude today.
Damien Lane won it on a 3-year-old colt 12 months ago with Jack and O. Here he combines with Tony and Calvin McAvoy on the Australia Stakes winner, horse 9 V8.
Yeah, he'll need to take improvement off the first up run, but he did run like improvement will be there, and he hit the line well over 1,200 metres. Damien Lane retains the ride. He's got a nice map on the back of the speed. A little bit concerning, though, we didn't see the Southport Tycoon form stack up and him go on with it earlier in the program in the Autumn Stakes.
He's a good-looking horse, and he paraded particularly well first up and delivered, and has improved nicely off the back of that run. It was a really settled parade from him today. He was nice and relaxed wandering around the mounting yard. His coat looks exceptional. I think the team have got him here in really good condition if he's good enough.
V8 trying to become the 18th colt or gelding at 3 to win the Orr Stakes. 7 of the last 13 have come via the Australia Stakes. The race he won a couple of weeks ago, Streets of Avalon and Black Caviar, the most recent horses to complete the Australia Stakes and Orr Double. The 100th edition of the CF4 Stakes. It's a field that's got a little bit of everything, Jane. Very interested to hear what your thoughts on Mr. Brightside were first up.
Yeah, look, I've been really torn in my decision regarding this parade. I've gone with V8 on top, and that's based on the fact that he does have race fitness on his side, and I think he's improved really nicely since his first up run. There's no doubt he's a really good-looking horse, and I think he comes to the races in better condition today than what he did at Moonee Valley, so hopefully he can make the step up. In saying that, Mr. Brightside looked terrific in the yard, and as you can see him out the back towards the barriers, he's just got the best temperament, and that's what makes him such a special racehorse. He got a little bit warmer in the yard, but it's very typical of him first up, and he has won looking like that, and I won't be surprised if he does win, but he will improve with racing.
Now, the punters just want one horse here. It's Mr. Brightside, the weight for age champ, on his way to a second All-Star Mile here, and $1.75 now, so a truckload of money for Mr. Brightside and Craig Williams. Interesting battle of tactics down the page here. V8 will roll forward. Pericles there, 7 each of 2. You'll see V8 just sneak out to 750 as I talk to you. They'll both sit up on speed and Pride of Jenny as well. Tissue will get back. Ayrton's the fly in the ointment. He'll roll across hard fit, and his 1400 metre track and trip distance form record. There it is, Hutch. Thanks. He is outstanding. So wonder where he'll get to. $21 if you like. What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the 1-800 number or visit the website.
JD Hayes representing the team, and it's always nice when you can come to the races with a horse like Mr. Brightside. Exciting for you guys first up this preparation. How is he?
No, absolutely. It's not lost on us settling up a $1.80 shot in the Group 1, and that's just a testament to his quality. As you alluded to, he's still got plenty of improvement as it's the start of a long campaign, but very happy the way that he presented, and hopefully he's running to market expectation.
I guess there's an idea from you that class is going to get him over the top today. How does the race need to set up for him to put his best foot forward?
We certainly hope so. As long as he's hitting line, we're going to be wrapped, because this is going to be a hard run 14 on paper anyway. So it's really going to stand him in good stead, and he's got a busy schedule ahead with the 2 weeks, and hopefully defending a title in the All-Star Mile. Love to see him keep winning. All the best for the team. Thank you. And we've got Calvin McAvoy with the exciting colt in V8. You did say at Moonee Valley there was improvement to come. He looks like he's made those necessary steps. Were you happy?
Yeah, for sure. Janie's presented beautifully today, so credit to the team at home. And, he's taken good improvement as you'd expect. So big step up. He's got to really prove himself today, but we feel he can.
How does the race shape need to set up for him to get all favours here? Because there's plenty of speed on paper. Yeah, there is. Look, Damien's got an open book. He obviously knows him well, and it's pretty well documented, the two speed horses, and I suppose how fast they want to roll along, and we should get a nice run either just behind them if they're not going silly, or maybe another pair back. But we've got the right jockey on board, and he'll work it out. Stable don't mind placing these horses in these types of races if they think they're good enough. Can he stack up here? Yeah, I think he can. Good luck. Thank you.
Calvin McAvoy and JD Hayes. Michael Walker, you've been in the middle of an All Stakes on a couple of occasions, going close with the likes of Brave Smash and Mighty Boss. You're at the 1400 metres start. Talk to us about the mix of this year's race. It's something we spoke about at the beginning of the day.
Yeah, we sure did. It's just depending on the speed and the way horses jump. But getting into this 1400 metres, you want to be in your spot before going up the hill. But we've got two sort of place horses in here, and Pride of Jenny, she's just walked past me right now. Geez, she looks amazing. I would think that she's not fresh up. She actually looks really fit and looks like she'll run a race. But a lot of these horses here need to get in their positions early, and it's quite an easy race, this one, with two horses in here that go forward.
It's Michael, the pace of the 100th Oar is going to be fascinating. How does it play for the likely leaders in Buffalo River and Pride of Jenny? How does it potentially set up for the Star and Mr. Brightside? Let's find out for the 100th time. Here's Matt Hill.
Munamek and Pericles, the final two. It's the 100th running of the CF4 Stakes.
Pride of Jenny looks.
Won by some of the biggest names in Australian racing through the years. Pericles goes up with Mark Zara, and Munamek is the last one. The Group 1, 1400, and they're set. They are ready, and they're racing, and Mr. Brightside dwelt was the second last out. A tissue goes back to the end. V8 jumped well with Pride of Jenny. Buffalo River keeps itself up there on the inside, a length away out wide. Ayrton's pushing up. They were followed by Pericles outside of Mr. Brightside, a length and a quarter Munamek. Then Bustler, a tissue last. Pride of Jenny's going to lead and eventually crosses Buffalo River with Ayrton the outside. They're a length and a half in front of V8 with a lovely trail. Then Mr. Brightside, who got to fifth, a length and a quarter Pericles, Bustler, a tissue, Munamek is last. Pride of Jenny, the front runner, 800 metres to go by a length and a quarter. In second, Buffalo River. Ayrton is third. It's been a strong tempo. A length and a half to V8, 6 off the front, tracked by Mr. Brightside, 2 lengths off the 3-year-old. A length and a half Pericles, and then came Bustler, Munamek, and a tissue's a long way off the leader. Pride of Jenny, 500 to go, a length Buffalo River, 2.5 Ayrton, followed by V8. Next in the field, Mr. Brightside with with 6 lengths to pick up, and back behind them Pericles. Pride of Jenny joined by Buffalo River. 250 metres to go. It's last man standing, 2 lengths to Ayrton V8, and Mr. Brightside is coming on now. Buffalo River at the 150. Pride of Jenny won't give in, and now Mr. Brightside is sprouting wings. Here he comes, Mr. Brightside over the top. He got up, Mr. Brightside. I think Mr. B's back in town. Beat Pride of Jenny and also Buffalo River. Then V8 Ayrton, Pericles, Bustler, Munamek, and a Tissue was last.
A great horse wins a great horses race. The 100th edition of the CF4 Stakes. It'll send shivers down your spine. 185 the numbers across the line, and Mr. Brightside is able to reel in the leaders in Pride of Jenny and Buffalo River, who also look like all stakes winners for stages for much of the Caulfield Straight. But there's no denying Mr. Brightside. He won the Memsey here in the spring, that after winning a PB Lawrence. Today he grabs his 5th Group 1, the second of them over the Caulfield 1400. He gives Lindsay Park their 8th win in the All Stakes, but their first for 29 years. It's hard to believe they haven't won this race since a Melbourne Cup winner in June did back in 1995. Gentleman Roy was first past the post in this race last year. He lost it in the steward's room, with Jacquino, of course, being elevated. There'll be no denying Mr. Brightside. He is the winner of the 100th All Stakes. Will Evans, his strapper, has been a big part of the Mr. Brightside story since he set foot on Australian soil for Lindsay Park. He's with Jane Ivel.
A huge part of Mr. Brightside's story, and I know it's becoming a habit, Will, but I'm sure that winning big races like this with a horse that you love doesn't get lost on you.
He's an absolute freak. Like, he had to do it the tradesman's way today. He had to find everything he did. They went that quick, and he was off the bit a long way out, but he just knows where the winning post is.
I got goosebumps watching it. You're a little bit emotional, but that's what good horses do to you, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. We know he's been flying home, so just to get him here today and do that, yeah, it's amazing. So we just got to enjoy the ride.
Certainly do, and I'm sure there's more to come. We'll let you go and get him.
Thanks, Jane.
JD Hayes is just on the phone. He's going to hang up on, I'm going to guess it might have been twin brother Will in Thailand, but we'll get confirmation of that in a moment. 8th win for the family in this race. Your grandfather and your dad's great horses won this. What does it mean to have your great horse win this race?
No, he's just, like you said, he's a great horse. He's so dear to our hearts, and look, it panned out. It was slow away, but it worked out perfect with the pace on and Pride of Jenny was so brave there, but yeah, I was glad that he got there late, and so much improvement in him to come. Hopefully it's the start of a big autumn.
You're a cool, calm, collected customer at the best of times, but has there been any trepidation in his lead-up? For some, the jump-outs and trials maybe had a little bit of a question mark attached to them, but also just how that race was panning out, and whether, as he does so often, whether he could reel them in.
Oh, no, look, he's been beaten in the autumn every time first up, so if history repeats, he's actually, this is a first for him, and we're very happy to see that, but he's a seasoned campaigner now, and there was nothing to read into the trials and jump outs. We thought it was just a bit of map in for him being an older horse, and I'll just take this opportunity to thank everyone back home and all the clients supporting us. It's just such a team effort, and when a horse like Mr. Brightside's able to fly the flag, it gives us a reason to have a sore head in the morning.
Who was on the phone?
That was Ben, yeah. The international tone slowed me up calling Will.
Just quickly, as you give Grace Ramage a deserved hug, prep from here in all likelihood, all going well, is Futurity All-Star Mile Australian Cup?
Yeah, it's looking that way, so hopefully he keeps ticking the boxes, but what a horse.
JD, well done.
Thank you.
Rowan Jarvis with me now. Tell me, Rowan, a big group of owners, what is it like when he goes across the line, when you've got so many excited people in a small space?
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. I must say, with about 200 to go, I thought, yeah, maybe not today, but just the class of the animal. He dug deep. Even on the line, we thought, no, is this another Cox Plate finish? But fortunately, it went our way. So he's an amazing horse. The team have done a great job with him. He just seems to be getting better and better each preparation. So we're having the magic carpet ride of our lives. It's just amazing.
He's a horse that's got an incredible will to win. It must give you a bit of confidence as an owner when you go to the races that you've got a horse that's going to put his best foot forward.
Oh, absolutely. His heart's so big. He just keeps trying, and Wow, it's just, yeah, I'm rather speechless.
Isn't it interesting, the emotion you've got in your voice? This horse has won Group 1s. He's done it before for you, but he just keeps fronting up, and it feels the same every time, even though you've felt this way before. Yeah, no, he's just a freak. I mean, we were very lucky to pick him up, and the beauty of it is we've created all of these friendships, and we're in chat groups now, and we converse, you know, a couple of times a week. We're just having the most amazing ride. Yeah, and hopefully it keeps continuing. Well done. Thanks, Jane.
Craig Williams interacting with the crowd. He might even grab a selfie as we make our way over to him after he wins the 100th CF4 Stakes on Mr. Brightside and wins this race for a second time in 6 years. Willow, congratulations. Hartnell 6 years ago, and it took a Hartnell-like effort from Mr. Brightside to mow them down, but take us to the start of the race where he dwelt ever so slightly and it had to get him working in those first couple hundred metres to grab your preferred spot. Well, good credit's got to go to the Hayes boys, Ben, JD, Will Hayes, their stable, all the people. You know, I'm very lucky. I feel like, I don't know, Lewis Hamilton, but he's changed from Mercedes, so I better not be Lewis Hamilton anymore. But it feels like that when they give me the opportunity to come in and ride this type of horse. And then I just get a feel for him. They give me the instructions. They've got a great handle on him, and it's a privilege to ride. But today was a bit of hard work. He was half... Usually his tendency is when he starts off his preparation, he's still a bit cheeky, still full of himself because he's got improvement. And today he had to go to the start and red, and we were lucky enough to be able to get from a nice barrier into a nice position. He raced well, but then, wow, you know, Jenny's such a tough horse, which we've known the last time I met her. And that was a brutal run race, and I'm just very lucky that even though through my urgings and keeping him balanced, that he's just got an amazing ability, but great will to win. Was there any concerns for you when you had to do that little bit of work in the first couple hundred metres to find your preferred spot adjacent to the pace that it might have used him up at the other end, or have you just got such trust in this guy now that you know that will to win's going to kick in? I think you've just summed up my approach to riding a horse as good as he is, that part was never a worry. It was only when we came under pressure and he wasn't travelling, I went, oh, wow. And again, you know, he's ready to come to the races to compete and to win. But he's still got more to come, so there's still more improvement. But look, it was a brutal tactic by obviously the second or third horse, and it nearly got us all out of our comfort zone. But he's just got a great tenacity, great will to win, and I can't wait to give him another pat now. Go and enjoy it with the connection. Thanks very much, Nigel. Kelvin McAvoy fourth with V8, but a big moment for him, Group 1 level against some really good weight for age gallopers. Are you pleased with what